Tucker Carlson decided that it was important not only to host Fuentes.
What I do think is bad is the all Jews are guilty, or all anybody is guilty of anything. That's just like not true.
So now, having spoken to Tucker, I actually see that interview very differently.
To another video on Red Wave America. Today I just want to go over what is going on in the conservative world in America. There's a lot of craziness going on right now with Tucker Carlson, Ben Shapiro, Benny Johnson, Candace Owens, all these people who are big-time conservative speakers, but there's a war among them all, and I think it's about time for me to say something about it and throw in my 2 cents, if you could say. So the introduction, what is going on right now? It's unacceptable what we're seeing with the conservatives. We're divided over silly things. They're really, really dumb. I see no problem of people asking questions. I think we are allowed to ask questions without getting yelled at, and being called stupid or anti-Semite, whatever you call the people. They're just asking questions. I want to go over all these people and what's going on individually. First, I want to go over the Tucker Carlson interview with Nick Fuentes. Oh my! I don't know much about this guy until I didn't know much about this guy until recently. I do know that I don't like him. I think he is very sexist. His beliefs on women are very horrible. Manpower, controlling, men are better than women, stuff like that. You just have to watch Nick Fuentes to know what I'm talking about. But I do respect the fact that Nick Fuentes is actually someone who's not afraid to say what he believes. And so Tucker Carlson had him on. Now, yes, it's controversial. He supports Joseph Stalin. He supposedly supports Nazism, which we should not support. Those are very bad things. Stalin was a horrible man who slaughtered millions of people, more than Adolf Hitler. So, in that sense, Nick Fuentes is not the greatest guy. But we can see some good things that Nick Fuentes has said or is doing. He is, for the Gen Z, my generation, he is speaking up. A lot of people are not doing that. Gen X, Gen Y, they're shutting their mouths. They're not really asking questions. And Nick Fuentes started back, I believe, when he was 18 years old. I think that was like 7 years ago, back in 2016. Why are we giving billions of dollars to Israel every year? Now, me personally, and I'm not saying I'm in support of Nick Fuentes' beliefs on Israel or not. I am pro-Israel myself. But let's look at this. By one, don't get mad at me for this, because I know a lot of people get mad at people for talking about Israel for whatever reason. I'm going to say as much as I can in this video. Hopefully I don't get canceled. But all he asked was the question, why are we giving billions of dollars to Israel? And this was when he worked for the Daily Wire back in 2016. And the people said, why are you asking that question? like, shut up. Don't ask that question. You're not supposed to know. It's like none of your business. And then they canceled him. And then Ben Shapiro attacked him and everything. Like, Ben Shapiro, oh my word, we're going to get to him in a minute. But he canceled this 18-year-old Gen Z guy in 2016 who was just asking a question, why are we giving billions of dollars to a foreign country? I thought we were America first. Why are we giving our tax money to any country? I don't care if it's Israel. Why are we giving money to anybody? Why are we giving it to Ukraine? Why are we giving our money to NATO and all these other nations and these wars? Why are we funding these wars when we're saying that we're American first? If you're America first, shouldn't we be focusing our money, our finances in the military on our nation? The border. Like, come on, guys. Let's focus our money on the border. We have an invasion on Mexico. If you want to fund anything, fund a war against Mexico. Not against Venezuela. Mexico, who is the ones sending these people over, or not sending them, but there's people coming over there with drugs, and they're killing Americans. But we're somehow in the Middle East, and in Europe, and in South America now, in Africa, all these countries, and we're not focused on America first. We're focused on, we want, I don't know, to be the world's police. So Nick Fuentes really asked questions about that, and now, obviously, if you ask a question, why are we giving billions of dollars to Ukraine? Obviously, no one's going to bite your head off and call you an anti-Ukrainian, because nobody cares. Ukraine is a wicked nation. They're run by an evil leader. I forget his name, but yeah, Vladimir Zelensky. That's his name. He's not a great guy. He does not like Christians. You can look that up. It's true. He's banning churches. I don't know why we were funding that war, but Trump and all these Republicans talked against it. Why is Joe Biden giving money to Ukraine? And then when it came to Israel, we kept quiet. We defunded almost every war during Trump's reign except Israel. So Nick Fuentes asked those questions, and Tucker Carlson did an over-hour video interviewing him, and I think Tucker Carlson deserves that right. He can interview whoever he wants. And then people all of a sudden got mad because, they say, not because he was on Tucker Carlson's show, but because Tucker Carlson was too light on him. What? Why does it matter? Tucker Carlson was asking questions. Just because Tucker Carlson brings someone on his show does not mean he agrees with them 100%. Or even by 50%. He just wants to know why they believe what they believe and why they do what they do. And how they got where they've gotten. And so, all the drama right now, which revolves around Tucker Carlson, which we're going to talk about, is because he had this guy named Nick Fuentes on his show.
What I do think is bad is the all Jews are guilty, or all anybody is guilty of anything, because that's just not true. God created every person as an individual, not as a group. We hate that kind of thinking,
Yes.
Right? That's identity politics.
As a Catholic, I could not agree more with you. I love all people, even the ones that don't like us. We have to love them all, and we have to recognize that
We're required to.
yes, but I guess my substantive disagreement is the idea that neoconservatism and Israel has nothing to do with Jewishness, Jewish identity, the Jewish religion, because clearly the state of Israel and the neocons are deeply motivated by that ethnic identity, and their allegiance to Israel proceeds from that.
Well, this is, just BLM. They're engaging in identity politics. But the problem in your response is it does not apply to every individual.
No, and I would never say that.
Okay. Well, I just think it's important to say that because just that principle that we're all judged as individuals by what we do, and God will judge every one of us in that way, and that's how we're supposed to judge.
Now, you don't have to like Nick Fuentes. I'm not saying you do. I don't like Nick Fuentes. But let's admit this, that everyone, under the Bill of Rights, under the Constitution, we are allowed to ask questions. We have freedom of speech. So Tucker Carlson, my opinion on him, he's a great guy. I really, really enjoy watching Tucker Carlson. I really like Tucker Carlson. He speaks truth. He goes to the right places. He talks to the right people. And he, as well, has been asking questions that are getting people mad at him. They're calling him an anti-Semite for asking questions about Israel. This is what's dividing the conservative movement. We're not divided over something that involves America. We're divided over a single nation that is thousands of miles away in the Middle East. Why does it matter if we support Israel or not? Why does that matter to be a conservative? Why are we attacking people for not supporting Israel? Why does it matter? Now, I will say this. Personally, and I have changed my views on Israel this last year. I used to be very, very supportive of Israel. But over the last year, I've noticed some things. I'm putting America first. I don't hate Israel. I don't hate the Jews. I hate the Israeli government because they're corrupt and wicked and they're killing Christians. They bombed the only church in Gaza. But Now, I don't support Gaza either. I don't support any of the Muslim nations around Israel. I hate the Muslim nations around Israel. That's why I support Israel. Because Israel's not as bad as the Muslim nations. That's my thoughts on it. But why are we giving billions of dollars to Israel? And are they actually using it for their own good? Israel is perfectly capable, and they've proven that, to defend themselves. So when we talk about Israel, why is it that the conservative movement is divided on it? Why are we... I mean, you can be divided over an issue and still be friends at the end of the day. No one agrees with anyone 100%. You can say, okay, you have that opinion and I have mine, and we can move on and still work together and be friends. But this topic has just destroyed our relationship with the conservative movements. We're attacking each other and we're not talking. We're not being friends. Like, why? All because of this one little nation that's on the map. Now, on a Christian perspective, I'm a Christian. Ted Cruz told Tucker during his interview that the reason why he supports Israel is because the Bible says so. Ted Cruz, you're an idiot. You're a horrible politician. I hope you never become president because you really are horrible.
How many people live in Iran, by the way?
I don't know the population.
At all?
No, I don't know the population.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah,
How could you not know that?
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay, this is cute.
It's not
okay.
even... You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay,
actually,
I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who
don't know anything about the country.
You're wrong. You're wrong on that topic because that's not true. The Bible does not say that. And for all you Zionists out there, quit preaching that. You do not have to support Israel to be a Christian. Israel is a nation, was a nation, during the Bible times that God used as his people. He used them to slaughter all their enemies. But the point of the Old Testament, the point of Israel was to show us as Christians, the future, here we are in the future, that we are not perfect, and that just like Israel, they were a wicked nation for thousands of years. They kept falling away from God, coming back to him, repenting, and then falling away again into their idolatry and sexual sins and all that corruptible things. They had bad kings, they had good kings. That was Israel. And then Rome eventually came to power, and after Assyria and Babylon and Greece and all those other countries. And Rome conquered Europe, and so Israel was there. And then Israel ceased to be a nation. Almost 2,000 years ago, or later, I should say, 1946, I believe. I think it was 46 or 44, one of the two. Israel became a state again. So let's backtrack 2,000 years prior. Jesus Christ came down to this world and died for us, to where Israel no longer is the chosen people. It's now the Christians. Christians are now God's chosen people. If you are a Jew, if you are a Gentile, the only way you're going to get to heaven is if you ask Jesus Christ into your heart. If you are a Christian, you have to be a Christian. Whether you're Jew or Gentile, there's only one true religion, that's Christianity. So no, we should not be focusing on, oh, well, the Bible says we should be supporting Israel. No, we should be supporting Christianity. We should be supporting our nation and their values on Christian standpoints, not a nation that hates Jesus Christ. Israel does not like Jesus. They do not like Christians, and we're supporting this. Now, I will say this. Israel can be a good ally. We are keeping the Middle East aligned. So there's two different perspectives to look at that. These are my perspectives. I don't care if you like it or not. I don't give a crap about your opinion, what you think. This is what I believe. So get over it. Quit pouting, Ben Shapiro, if you ever watch this, and I doubt you will, but if you do, get over it. Tough luck. Be America first. I can have my opinion if I want to, without getting attacked and canceled and called an anti-Semite. I'm not an anti-Semite for this beliefs. I love Jews. I don't hate Jewish people. I hate the government, and that's about it. I don't even like my own government. It's like, so who cares if I don't like Israel's government? I don't live there. I don't live in Israel. I live in America. If I'm allowed to talk against my government, which we've been doing for a very long time, if I'm allowed to hate on my government, which I currently still hate my government, even under Trump's administration, I think our government is nasty and corrupt. Not as corrupt as it was during Biden's administration, but it's still corrupt and I don't like it. But I'm allowed to criticize who I want, what country I want, and say what I want. Because this is America. This is freedom of speech. Now, obviously, there will be still consequences, as Ben Shapiro has said. Just because you have freedom of speech does not mean you have free access to say what you want and not get fired for it. So, if you want to say something and hope that you don't get fired, there are certain places where you shouldn't say everything, but overall, freedom of speech, which really means you're not going to get thrown in prison for saying freedom of speech. So that's where Tucker Carlson's perspective is, and so he's going that direction. And I've seen him going that direction over the past couple year. He's changed his views on Israel a little more extreme than I have, because I'm still pro-Israel. He is neutral, but overall, I think Tucker Carlson is a great guy who is just asking questions. I think we should respect that. So now let's go to the response to Ben Shapiro. What he said. He is telling people to denounce Tucker Carlson, to say that he's an anti-Semite. Like, Ben Shapiro, what? First of all, let me just say this. I never was a big fan of Ben Shapiro, but today, I really don't like Ben Shapiro. I think Ben Shapiro is not only a horrible person in America, but I don't think he's America first. I think he should get out of American politics because he's not America first. He believes that we should end the retirement age because he thinks we should all work because you're only going to live 5 years after your retirement, so you might as well work till you die. Like, Ben Shapiro, you're a horrible person, and you're Israel first in the flesh. I don't care if you're Jew. You can live here as a Jew in America, but you have to be America first. And that's another thing that Nick Fuentes said. If you're Chinese first, if you're Israel first, if you're Ukrainian first, if you're Mexican first, then you should be living in those countries, not America. I respect that, and I actually, to an extent, agree with that. In the political world, if you're going to run in a position or be an influencer in American politics, you should probably 100% be America first. We don't want your country that you're first on to influence our nation. Look at New York City. You got Zamdani, whatever his name is. He's an Islamic. We should not have Islamics running in our nation. We should ban that. He should have never got elected in New York City. That was one of the most embarrassing things our country has just did, or that New York City just did. They want Muslim, Islamic beliefs in America. They want to kill Christianity. And so as all of us conservatives are yelling at each other and getting divided over a little nation in the Middle East, we have all this happening. And we're dividing ourselves to where it is harder for us to win in any elections because we're not focused on winning. We're focused on dividing each other. Oh, you don't support Israel? Well, then you're not my friend. You're my enemy. So my response to Ben Shapiro is, Ben Shapiro, shut your mouth. Get over it. He's allowed to interview who he wants. Just stop talking about it and move on with your life.
So now, having spoken to Tucker, I actually see that interview very differently. And I did listen to the interview, and I knew what Nick Fuentes was. And I think he did show himself to be who he is. It wasn't his most vile stuff, but you got the feel for what this guy was. But I really think Tucker was talking to him, Ben, to put like a bumper on this guy. Because what Tucker was urging him the whole time was to understand that collective punishment for any one group of people is wrong. It's deeply immoral and it's anti-Christian, which this guy is supposed to be, and reminding him of how deeply immoral that is, that you should not be looking at a group of people, whomever it is. And he was making the case throughout the whole interview in the way that Tucker does. He's not like you or me. He's not like pointed and cross-examining.
That is not true.
And was making...
That is fundamentally untrue.
No.
Ask Senator Ted Cruz whether that is true.
He gave it to Ted Cruz because Ted Cruz is a politician.
That's hold up. So only politicians get cross-examined?
You don't. Well, look,
Truly?
It depends on the person.
Tucker would never cross-examine a person who is not a politician. That's his rule.
Tucker has excoriated public figures who purport to speak for us and represent us for many years. Nick Fuentes is a podcaster civilian.
Okay, I just have a question. We all in our industry are constantly excoriating people who are in our industry. It happens all the time, every single day.
Okay.
Okay. Again,
but we're talking about his interviews.
We can agree to disagree on your interpretation of what Tucker was doing there. I think everybody should watch and determine for themselves what they think Tucker was doing in that interview. And I urge you to watch it back to back with the Ted Cruz interview to determine whether you think that was an aggressive Tucker Carlson interview, and you can judge for yourself.
I didn't say it was aggressive.
My opinion.
I didn't say it was aggressive, and I don't think he would say it was aggressive.
And
I think his point was, this guy, first of all, he's become a behemoth, sadly. He's got 5 million viewers on Rumble. He's got 1 million followers on X.
I agree.
This is all before Tucker Carlson. And he was platformed, I hate that verb, but he was platformed by Patrick Bet-David. And he went on Dave Smith's show, and he went on another big show. He's been getting more and more purchase in the political ecosphere, including right wing.
And I think that's
Patrick
bad.
Bet-David has a huge show. I know, but
Patrick
did you know that Patrick Bet-David had him on? Did his life blow up?
Patrick Bet-David did a significantly more aggressive interview with Nick Fuentes than Tucker did.
Okay.
Now, Candace Owens, whether you like her or not, you got to admit, she's also not afraid to say what she believes. Now, on the conspiracy theories that she believes, she has a lot of conspiracy theories, and I don't agree with all of them. Such as I think even Nick Fuentes has these conspiracies on the Holocaust, which I believe in the Holocaust. I do think that 6 million Jews were killed. 9/11 was caused by the Jews? No. It was definitely caused by the Muslims. But Candace Owens believes that 9/11 happened by the Jews, and the Holocaust was actually not real, or whatever. So there are some things of Candace Owens that are a little bit conspiracy, just exaggerations, or she's just flat out wrong. And then Charlie Kirk, and she's going around on that case big time. Like, she's focused on this case and with all these conspiracies of who shot Charlie Kirk. Should we believe the FBI? Because the government never lies to us, right? The government's always honest. The FBI would never lie to us. Yeah, whatever. But again, I'm not here to talk about Charlie Kirk on that topic. Whoever killed Charlie Kirk, God knows who it is. So that's all that matters. So my response to Candace Owens and my support, I mean, she is speaking up truth, but she is hurting herself with all these conspiracies. It's also dividing the party when she talks trash about other people. And it's not just her, it's the other side too. Both sides are talking trash to each other. If we could just unite the Conservative Party the right way, none of this would be happening. And so, how is this affecting the White House? Well, we were in the midst of a government shutdown, which finally reopened. The Democrats finally gave in. They quit sucking their thumbs, and now we have reopened our government. Thank goodness. But what happened? Come on, Republicans, Democrats, wake up. You have been elected in that position for a reason. So maybe you should work for a living. We're the ones paying you, so how about you do your jobs correctly and reopen the government a little bit faster next time. So Trump, Vance, their thoughts on all this. I haven't really seen much about them speaking on it. I do know that something called the Epstein files should be released, but hey, that's also in the conspiracy theories with Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson. All these people were talking about it. Is Israel involved or whatnot, or is Trump on the list, or blah blah blah. So this also is dividing the party. The Epstein list really divided Republican Party. Trump, don't make promises that you can't keep. Don't ever make a promise that you can't keep, because if you make a promise, you should probably keep it, or your American people who voted you in will make sure that you remember that promise, and they will make sure you tell it to them, and they will not give up. But if you don't, you're going to continue to crush and divide your own party. You have destroyed the trust in the American people, in both parties, to be exact. Both parties are just not trustworthy anymore. And so now these big-time speakers, Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, Benny Johnson, these people are taking matters into their own hands now. Really, why aren't these guys in political office? They should probably be in political office, because they speak truth more than these politicians do, but they're also getting divided as well, and it's not healthy. And the Republican Party, the conservative movement, it's not looking good. We need to reunite. 2025 was an embarrassment for the Republican Party. 2026 midterms, guys, we got to fix something now. Till then, if we want to win the House and win, we're definitely winning the Senate back. But if we want to win the House, we want to keep our country safe under the conservative influence, then we should probably reunite with the people. So the issues, which is Israel, which is the main reason why the conservatives are so divided, I don't see Israel as a big issue. And as a conservative myself, I don't think we should be focused on Israel. At the end of the day, who cares if you support them or you don't support them? I think we should just drop the subject. Israel's our ally. We should support them as our ally. They are helping us in the Middle East. And you don't have to like them. No one's, well, I'm not forcing you. Some people might be, but most people are not forcing you to worship them or to love them. Just maybe unite. I don't know. But all I know is that this little issue, and it is a very small issue, people. It's not even on my top 4 issues politically. This issue is not worth the division and the destruction of the conservative movement. So my take on this is, quit sucking your thumbs. You can keep asking questions if you want. And the people, like Ben Shapiro, just let them ask questions without attacking them. If you want to interview Nick Fuentes, if you want to debate Nick Fuentes, do it yourself, Ben Shapiro. If you don't like how Tucker Carlson did it, then do it yourself.
I mean, so what do you say to those people who say, why didn't you raise any of that?
Do your own interview the way that you want to do it. You're not my editor. Buzz off. I mean, I don't know. You want to go yell at Nick Fuentes? I'll give you his cell. Call him and go sit and yell at him and feel virtuous or whatever. That's up to you.
But at the end of the day, none of us are going to agree with each other on everything. It's not going to happen. It's called human nature. It's impossible to meet someone who agrees with you on 100% of everything. In fact, you would never meet them in this world. And the woman who you marry, men, you're going to learn that. Or if you're already married, you've already learned that the hard way. No one agrees with each other on everything. So to unite the conservative movement, let's push more on Christian values. Push more on Christianity. Focus on Christianity and focus on our nation. And focus on uniting the American people the right way. This is Red Wave America. I hope you enjoy this video.